Hello and welcome to this edition of TMA's Farm Margin Talk. This is Devin Schierling, Grain Marketing Manager for TMA. When I was trying to put the words together to summarize this past week, it was just, wow, what a difference a week can make. Last week I was wearing shorts and a t-shirt outside in the afternoon, and we're coming off a week where the markets had rebounded and were showing quite a bit of strength. To this week, I couldn't put nearly enough clothes on to stay warm this morning, and the markets were probably more volatile than what they've been for quite some time. But the one thing throughout all this volatility, whether it be weather or market movements, is knowing and managing that profit. And so as we look at our profit index for February the 10th, 2012, you'll notice that once again, majority of these numbers stay extremely strong on the corn, beans, and wheat side. But what I want to draw your attention to was a very interesting phenomenon that happened after the USDA report last week. We saw a $35 an acre decrease in irrigated corn profitability, while irrigated bean profitability actually increased 6 cents on the week. So are we beginning to look at making sure we have enough beans in that marketplace? That battle for acres starting to begin? I don't know, but it was very interesting to watch that change take place this past week, with wheat also having a rough week, being down $20 an acre on profitability on dryland corn. So this is just how we come up with that information again, based off of new crop Groveland cash prices and the expected or average expenses for an average farmer in McPherson County. And this is just the number of bushels it takes to purchase those needs. Just everyone likes to look at that information in a different fashion. This helps you put into a bushel per acre format versus a dollars per acre format. So what we want to visit about today is something that most of you maybe have or have not heard about, which is trend adjustment. That's a new add-on policy that you can add to your federal crop insurance. Now, this is the first year for this, and it takes an amazing amount of time and resources to find out how this affects your operation. This is not a cookie cutter adjustment that everyone is just going to be guaranteed X number of bushel increase for a small investment. So in order to get this information, it'll take quite a bit of time to go back over the last 10 years and look at the number of times you planted corn and being able to add a factor to it. But I want to show you what the end result is, so if this spurs any interest in you, you can have one of our crop insurance specialists come out and run this detailed information on your behalf. So let's assume the following two things. On the left-hand side is an 80% RP policy with a 183 APH, a 574 base price, and an 80% policy. Guarantees him $840 an acre. If he used the trend adjustment, and this is an actual example that we ran for a producer, it increased his APH to 202. And so we used the same base price, the same percent of policy, and it was a $87 an acre increase. And in order to do that, it cost him just a touch more than $10. So the producer netted out $77 of additional profit. So guys, right now, especially with this base price falling a little bit in the last couple of days, let's make sure we do a good job of maximizing the opportunities we have in front of us and get in front of your agent and talk about this trend adjustment. This is just a quick update on where we're at on base price right now. Through today, our base price is $12.34 on beans and $5.74 on our corn. And this is just a picture of that wheat, of that moisture that we received last week. I wanted to show that again, just how beneficial that was to our overall wheat crop going forward. And what's going to cause this market to move? One, the USDA report, although it wasn't an overly bullish or overly bearish report, it gave us market direction and things to trade off of, especially on corn and wheat. And then when you look at weather, how was the weather we had in South America? Then how is the weather in the U.S.? Whether that be potential winter kill issues with cold weather in Kansas, to how much rain we're going to have in Texas to get this wheat crop going. We just have to make sure we watch this weather. And then like we talked about, that battle for acres. How are the battle for acres going to affect us going forward? We started to see a sneak peek of that already with beans increasing in a declining corn market. but continue to watch that going forward. And always feel free to check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. With that being said, feel free to contact one of our grain marketing or crop insurance specialists with any additional information. Thank you guys, and have a great weekend.